Welcome back to Living Well After 50. And, we're always talking about ways to, really make the most of these years right. But today, we're diving into something that might surprise you. It's about these three vitamins that could actually be weakening your legs. And we'll tell you what to take instead. So stick around for that.
It's funny because when we hit 50, it's like we all kind of get on this vitamin train, don't we? Thinking about boosting our energy, keeping our hearts strong, all that good stuff.
I'm right there with you. Every morning, those supplements, they're just part of my routine. But I've been having this thought lately. What if some of these supplements are actually doing more harm than good? Like, what if they're actually making our legs weaker?
Now, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? Especially if you've been feeling like your legs aren't quite what they used to be.
Exactly. Like maybe getting up from a chair suddenly feels a bit harder, or, those stairs that never used to bother you. Well, now they feel like climbing a mountain.
Right. And it's so easy to just blame it on getting older. But what if it's not just that?
And look, we're not talking about running marathons here. We're talking about being able to stay active and independent, being able to enjoy life on our own terms without worrying about falling or struggling to get around. That's what strong legs really give us.
Couldn't agree more. Leg strength, it's truly the foundation for everything we want to do in these years.
So that's what we're digging into today. We're going to reveal three common vitamins that might be secretly zapping your leg strength. And even more importantly, we'll tell you what to do instead to feel stronger and more steady on your feet.
We've been poring over tons of research, and some of what we found might really surprise you. You might even want to rethink your daily vitamin routine after this.
For sure. And if you want more tips like this to help you thrive after 50, don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter. All right, let's get into it, starting with vitamin E. Now, I always thought of vitamin E as a good guy, right? Good for your heart, good for your skin, keeps you looking young. It's in everything these days. Multivitamins, skin creams, you name it. A lot of us over 50 are taking it regularly. Seems pretty harmless, right?
Vitamin E does have a great reputation, and it's true, it's an important antioxidant, but the key here is the dose.
Right. The dose. It can't all be good, can it?
Well, here's the thing. Our bodies handle vitamins in different ways. And with vitamin E, it turns out that if we're taking in too much, especially as we get older, it can actually backfire on us.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more.
So vitamin E, it's what we call a fat-soluble vitamin. You know how some vitamins like vitamin C, they just flush out of your system if you take too much?
Right.
Well, fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin E, they get stored in your body fat and your liver. So if you keep taking high doses, they can build up over time.
And that's when the problems start.
Exactly. And the irony is that vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant.
Oh.
But when you have too much of it, it can actually interfere with how your muscles repair themselves and even how your nerves and muscles communicate.
So basically, our muscles can't function as well as they should.
Right. And if you're already dealing with some age-related muscle loss, well, this can make things even worse.
So it's not like a sudden thing, more like a gradual weakening that you might not even notice at first.
Exactly. Maybe your legs start to feel a bit heavier, or you're a little less steady on your feet. You might find it harder to stand up from a chair, or you might even feel a bit wobbly when you walk. And we often just think, oh, well, that's just part of getting older.
I know, I've definitely thought that. But it could be that our muscles are getting weaker because of too much vitamin E. And I remember you mentioned something about blood thinners, too.
Yes, vitamin E, it can also thin your blood. So if you're already on blood-thinning medication, taking extra vitamin E could make you bruise more easily. It could even increase the risk of bleeding and falls, which we know can be very serious for seniors.
Okay, this is making me rethink my vitamin E routine for sure. So what's the alternative? We still need vitamin E, don't we?
Of course we do. But the key is to get it from the right sources. Think about adding more sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, avocados to your diet. Those are all packed with vitamin E, and your body can absorb it much better from food.
So instead of that vitamin E pill, maybe I should just grab a handful of almonds with my afternoon tea.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
For most people, that's a much safer and healthier way to go. And if you're taking a vitamin E supplement, definitely talk to your doctor about it.
Good advice. Bring all your supplements to your next appointment and go over them together. You might be surprised to learn how much vitamin E you're actually getting.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
People are taking doses based on old information or just because a label says it's good for you. And you mentioned this earlier. Vitamin E can sneak into your diet in a lot of ways through your multivitamin skin supplements, even some brain health supplements.
So bottom line with vitamin E, it's not that it's bad in itself. It's just that too much of it can weaken our leg muscles and affect our balance and independence. Maybe it's time to ditch those high-dose pills and focus on getting it from our food. Okay, so let's move on to the next vitamin that might be contributing to weak legs, vitamin A. This is another one we've always been told is good for us, right? For our vision, our skin, our immune system. It's in multivitamins, cod liver oil, you name it. Seems like another no-brainer, right?
Vitamin A, it's essential, for sure. But there's a catch. And it's the same catch as vitamin E. It's fat soluble.
Ah, so it can build up in our bodies if we take too much.
Exactly. And as we age, our bodies don't process things the same way. Our liver might not work as efficiently, our muscles take longer to recover, and our bones naturally become a bit thinner. So we can become more sensitive to high levels of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A.
Interesting. So where does this excess vitamin A tend to cause the most trouble?
Well, one of the big concerns is bone health, particularly in our hips and legs. You see, research has shown a link between high levels of vitamin A and faster bone loss. And any decrease in bone density increases the risk of fractures, which can really impact your quality of life.
That's scary. And it's not just our bones, is it? You mentioned muscles, too.
Right. Excess vitamin A can affect muscle strength as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people over 50, they complain of heavy or achy hips and thighs, especially after exercise. We tend to think, oh, it's just old age or I overdid it. But it could actually be from too much vitamin A.
And it's easy to get too much, isn't it? I mean, vitamin A is in a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about it. You might be taking a multivitamin that has vitamin A. You take cod liver oil, eat fortified foods like some cereals, and liver, oh boy, liver is loaded with vitamin A.
Yeah.
It's easy to overdo it without even realizing it.
Okay, so what are some signs that our vitamin A levels might be too high? What should we be looking out for?
Keep an eye out for things like persistent aches in your hips or thighs that just don't go away feeling really tired or weak after even a short walk. Or maybe you're starting to avoid stairs or going for your usual walks because your legs just don't feel up to it. These could be signs that your vitamin A levels are out of whack.
Got it. So how do we make sure we're getting enough vitamin A but not too much? We do need it for things like good eyesight, right?
Absolutely. The key is to focus on safer sources. Beta-carotene, which is found in colorful veggies like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, kale. That's your best bet, especially after 50. Our bodies are smart. They convert beta-carotene into vitamin A only as needed, so it's a natural safety mechanism.
To load up on those colorful veggies and be careful with vitamin A supplements, especially retinol and cod liver oil.
You got it. If you're currently taking a vitamin A supplement, especially one with retinol or cod liver oil, have a chat with your doctor and see if you really need it and if the dose is still right for you. And always check the labels of your other supplements and even fortified foods to see how much vitamin A they're adding to your daily intake.
And should we ask our doctor to check our vitamin A levels?
It's a good idea to talk to your doctor about a vitamin A blood test, especially if you've been taking supplements for a while or if you have any of those symptoms we talked about. These tests aren't always part of routine blood work, so you might have to ask for it specifically. The bottom line is, with fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A more is not better. It's really about getting your nutrients from whole, unprocessed foods. That's how our bodies are designed to work.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've covered vitamin E and vitamin A. Now let's talk about the third vitamin that could be affecting our leg strength, vitamin B6. We always hear good things about B vitamins, right? They give you energy, and vitamin B6 is supposed to be great for your brain. It's in so many supplements for seniors, multivitamins, energy drinks, even memory pills. And since it's water soluble, I always thought you couldn't really take too much of it. Any extra just gets flushed out, right?
That's what most people think. And while it's true for a lot of water-soluble vitamins, vitamin B6 is a bit of an exception. Even though it's water-soluble, if you take too much of it, especially from supplements, it can build up and cause problems. And when it does, those problems can be pretty serious.
Okay. Serious in what way? What kind of problems can happen if you get too much vitamin B6?
One of the biggest risks is nerve damage, a condition called peripheral neuropathy. It often affects the nerves in your legs and feet. Think of it this way. Peripheral neuropathy means there's damage to the nerves that are outside of your brain and spinal cord. And these are the nerves that send signals to your legs and feet.
I've heard of that. It causes that tingling and numbness, right?
Yeah, exactly. It often starts subtly, like with a tingling or numbness in your toes. It might come and go, and you might just think, oh, it's just poor circulation or something. But over time, those sensations can creep up your legs. You might feel like your legs are falling asleep a lot, or you might lose some feeling in your feet. Some people describe it as feeling like their legs are disconnected from the ground when they walk.
That sounds unsettling. It must make it hard to get around.
It definitely can. It affects your muscle function and your balance.
Yeah.
You might trip or stumble more often or feel less stable when you walk.
Mm.
Simple things like walking or standing for a while can become difficult, and it can make you afraid of falling, which can really take away your confidence and independence.
And I bet a lot of people think those symptoms are just part of getting older.
Exactly. Or they worry that it's something even more serious. But sometimes the culprit is that vitamin B6 supplement they've been taking, thinking it's helping them.
So how much is too much vitamin B6? Is there a limit we should be aware of?
Generally, the upper limit is around 100 milligrams a day for adults. But, a lot of supplements, especially those marketed to seniors, can have a good chunk of B6 in them. So if you're taking multiple supplements, it's easy to go over that limit. You might have 20 or 40 milligrams in your multivitamin, then another 50 in an energy supplement, and maybe 30 more in a memory supplement. It adds up fast.
And the scary part is the nerve damage from too much B6 can be permanent.
That's the real concern. Sometimes the damage is long-lasting or even permanent. It can lead to ongoing numbness problems with coordination and weakness in your legs. It's a big risk for something that seems like a harmless vitamin.
So what can we do to protect ourselves from getting too much B6?
The first thing is to really read those labels. Look at every single supplement you're taking, not just your multivitamin, but also any individual vitamins and other health products. You might be surprised how much B6 is hiding in there.
And again, getting it from food is always better, right?
Absolutely. Foods like bananas, avocados, potatoes, turkey, chickpeas, they all have B6 in safe amounts. And your body is much better at absorbing it from food.
And what if we're already having some of those symptoms, like tingling or numbness in our legs and feet? What should we do then?
Talk to your doctor and ask for a blood test to check your B6 levels. It's not always included in routine blood work, so you might have to ask for it specifically. Catching it early can make a big difference in reversing the symptoms and protecting your nerves and your mobility in the long run.
Okay, so with vitamin B6, the message is clear: more is not better. And taking too much could really affect our strength and balance. It's a reminder to be aware of what we're putting into our bodies and to stick with those natural food sources whenever possible. Because, as we said before, having strong legs is crucial for staying independent and enjoying life as we get older.
Absolutely. It's easy to blame every little ache, pain, and twinge on getting older. We hear it all the time and we start to accept it as just part of life.
But what if it's not just about aging? What if that muscle weakness or fatigue or those balance problems, what if those are actually side effects of the supplements we're taking, the ones we're taking to try to stay healthy?
It's a real possibility.
Mm.
And the truth is, those changes in our muscles and nerves, they're not always just from getting older. Sometimes they're caused or made worse by getting too much of certain vitamins, like vitamin E, vitamin A, and vitamin B6. These vitamins, they're important for our health, but only in the right amounts. If we consistently take too much over time, it can really weaken our legs, affect our coordination, and make us less stable.
It's almost like we're sabotaging ourselves, isn't it? Taking these pills, thinking they're helping us, but they could actually be doing the opposite.
But the good news is that we have the power to change things. If we understand these connections, we can take steps to protect ourselves. We can review our supplements, talk to our doctors, and make changes to our habits. We can keep our strength, our mobility, and our independence for years to come.
There's a saying that our legs carry our freedom, and we don't want to lose that freedom because of something we're doing that we think is good for us. Aging is a natural process, but how we age is largely in our hands. So what should we be doing with this information right now? What are some concrete steps we can take?
I'm glad you asked, because taking action is key. Here are 5 things you can do starting today.
Let's hear them.
Number 1, take a good hard look at every single supplement you're taking. I mean, everything, your multivitamin, individual vitamins, and any health or wellness products you use. Read those labels carefully and really ask yourself, what's in this and do I really need it? Pay special attention to vitamin E, vitamin A, especially retinol and vitamin B6. You might be surprised how many products have these vitamins, sometimes in pretty high doses.
That's so true. It's not just about that separate vitamin E pill. It could be lurking in our multivitamins too.
You got it. Number 2, check the dosage of those 3 vitamins in all your supplements. And don't forget to add up the amounts from different sources. It's easy to get way more than you need without realizing it.
So we need to be our own nutrition detectives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Number 3, talk to the right doctor. Not all doctors are experts in the specific needs of older adults. If you can try to find a geriatrician or a functional medicine doctor who really understands these issues, bring a list of all your supplements to your appointment and tell them about any leg weakness, balance problems, or tingling or numbness you've been having.
And don't be shy about asking for tests, right?
Right. Number 4, if you're concerned, ask your doctor for a nutrient panel, specifically a blood test to check your vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin B6 levels. These tests aren't always routine, so you might have to specifically request them. Your doctor can then help you interpret the results and adjust your supplements if needed.
And the final step.
Number 5, focus on getting your vitamins and minerals from food whenever possible. Our bodies are much happier when we get our nutrients from real whole foods, like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Those foods give you a balanced mix of everything you need without the risk of getting too much of any one thing.
So it's all about being informed, taking charge of our health, and going back to basics with real food.
Absolutely. It's not about being afraid of supplements. It's about having the knowledge to make smart choices so we can stay strong, mobile, and independent.
You know, another really important thing for keeping our legs strong is staying active. Even if we're careful with our vitamins, if we're sitting around too much, our leg muscles will weaken just from lack of use. So we need to make sure we're moving every day, even if it's just a short walk or some gentle exercises.
You're so right. Movement is medicine, especially as we get older.
And I was thinking about something a friend of mine from our Living Well After 50 community said. She said, it's so important to really listen to our bodies and not just brush off those little aches and pains as just part of getting old. Sometimes those signs of fatigue or feeling unsteady, they're our body's way of trying to tell us something.
That's a great point. Paying attention to our bodies is key to staying healthy as we age.
So as we wrap up today, I want to encourage everyone listening to think about which vitamin they're going to check the label for first. Maybe even share what you've learned with a friend or family member.
Every small step toward awareness is a step toward better health and well-being.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into maintaining leg strength after 50. It's been an eye-opener for sure. We've learned that being aware of what we're taking, even those seemingly harmless supplements, is crucial for our long-term health, our mobility, and our independence.
And I hope this conversation inspires you to take a look at other habits in your life and see if there are any other changes you can make to support your health as you continue to age vibrantly.
So until next time, stay well, everyone.
Bye for now.